I want to make sure it was a big cheer from that. We weren't fighting like, yeah, I'm like, oh, we don't just work for 5 people. So we got it working. Something I kind of put off for a long time because I knew the task is going to be to get these things to work in game due to our engine. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that while this little video runs through. This is our first test with the Kilt. We put our heads together trying to figure out what we could do in our engine to make these things work. Does that thing run? It should be going.
So cute.
I have backup, so I tend to do that a lot. Usually guys ask me like, hey, let's make something. I'm like, oh, it doesn't matter, we'll break it, we can fix it. Well, this should be, I'll show the videos afterwards. I have my USB also. But some of the issues we had, first off, there's no bones.
Usually me with the
If people are familiar how our game works, there's bones and everything that animates. And we don't have any spur bones or dress bones. So we had to figure a way to attach these things to the legs without them clipping through. And then we only have, with our game, we can only use 2 influences per vert. That means you can only go, stretch out to the side or up and down. So trying to get a kilt to work that way, flat and move side to side, was a really difficult job. And Jeff, our artist, was awesome. He spent a lot of time figuring this out. And we got another coder with us, Alex, who gave us a tech where we can actually cut off the legs of the characters, bring in new legs that are just from the knee down, and then you pop in the kilt. And now you don't get any clipping in the thighs. Because at first, the thighs were just coming through and there's no way to go around it. So Jeff and Alex deserve a lot of credit for getting that in there.
So did you file a patent on that?
I got it.
Suddenly the panel gets a little versatile.
I'll show you. Another thing I want to do that everybody's always talking about, they want new outfits. I'm like, what do you do? And one thing I like to look at is a lot of the Legend of Norrath card art for ideas. And I think this one was a Derek Herring art. And I'm like, you know what? First I'm going to do is try to come up with something that looks like that. So here she is. Now the new outfits want to take so long, so we have to make, every outfit we make, we have so many different characters in game. We have 26 different character models I have to map these things to. So I'm like, I don't want to make this and just have a one-off type outfit. So you can't tell in the screenshot, I'll show later, but this outfit actually uses geo that covers her whole body. And through art, we can alpha that out and make different types of, you can have cross-fitted outfits or just like tube tops or anything, and it'll all work with the same geo. So we can have a lot of different ideas without having to remake that whole 26 armor sets.
How does that look like on an ogre?
Well, I got this, how's that? Ogres, I'll have to get over it next year. And this is what I was talking about. See, this is the same outfit on the right and the left. On the right, it has all her pieces. It's a full model, and all I did with it from the left to right is I outfit out the midriff. So from there, we can start doing it. And we can have asymmetrical pieces too, because it's all UV'd out. And then this is some stuff that one of our artists, Aaron, I'm showing some of his stuff. This is Aaron, as you know, on the forums. He's been making a lot of cool weapons for us. He's cranking out stuff really fast. We want to show some of the stuff that he's been working on. These are some of the crystalline weapons he's worked on recently. Some of the big weapons he's been working on. We're thinking, hey, we're killing giants. We need some giant weapons. So it looks like you're stabbing with a toothpick. So.
They are seriously big, too. When we scale with a trigger.
Okay, the other thing we've been having is we've been working on our retargeting system. To where, as I said before, we have 26 different models. They all have their own skeletons. And one thing that's really hard to do is, okay, we animate this on the human. how do we get this over to the ogre, the frog, a lot of different people? So using some new programs with like Motion Builder and other artists, Chris Myers helping us out, we're able to retarget a lot of those animations. So we make it once, and he runs it through a batcher, and bam, it's on everybody. So instead of 3 months worth of work, it's 3 weeks.
Nice.
And this is a video. I'll show it. Once I get to the videos, I'll click on them for you. But that's all the different characters. You pick an outfit, that's how many you have to make.
Wow.
So that's why I'm like, oh, more new outfits, please. You want new content. Okay, that's the Komodo. I'll be better when I have the videos up. I'll show you. That's a video. I'll click through them. The character creation process will show you how we create the characters in game. I always show, every year I show a different character. Last year I think I showed Rowan Faire. This year I'm going to show the Warboar. It was the Velius mount that you got. And the reason I want to show him, I'm going to show how we start with the concept and going through. We had some new tech with him too that makes the animations with some particle effects, his hair bobbing, things like that. It's really cool. So first, we'll always take a concept. This is the concept of the Warboar. This was made by Chris Atkins. I think he actually did this on the week on his own time, so he's a hard worker trying to get stuff out for us. So first we take this, and a lot of times with our pipeline, using the same artist who does the concept will also make the model. So there's rare instances where we have another concept artist make the concept and then a modeler do the model. Usually it's all one shot per guy. Okay, this is going to be a video too, I'll bring that up. This shows some of the different programs we use. This is, if anybody's familiar with ZBrush. One thing we're trying to do, our game, it came out a while back, and we want to keep up with all the current games, so we're always using the newest tech. And ZBrush is one of those newer programs to get those fine details, those high-res character looking models. So we'll throw things into ZBrush, and now we're painting in ZBrush. We're doing the normal maps, which is a normal map is just a map we put on the character that the engine can read, and it makes it look like Geo is there with shadows and lighting passes and highlights without taxing the engine. I'm showing here this. We also, whenever we make characters in our game, to keep our game running as fast as possible, because nobody likes lagging, right? Of course not. Well, we do what's called the LODs, level of detail. We always make a couple models. That first one is 9,000 tries. That's what you see when you're up on the guy, right in his face. And depending on your system, your rig, how you have settings, and how many characters are on screen, the further he gets back, he'll drop down to that LOD number 1 tries. And then when he gets further away, he'll drop down to 1,900 tries, that LOD 2. And we try to get this as seamless as possible, so as a character floats back, you don't see the changes. And that's one thing we're really trying to work on too, is we're actually looking at new tech of ways of getting our LOD models to be less noticeable. Because one thing that bothers me in game is a lot of times some of our shaders and stuff drop off. And probably everybody's here seen it, you're walking in your guild hall or whatever, and there's a guy in his outfit, and as you go away, all of a sudden he changes from bright, shiny to orange. And you're like, why did that guy change to orange? And it bugs the heck out of me. Well, I'm working with my coder on some new tech, and we're going to be testing out to where that stuff won't happen, which would be really cool. As an artist being visual, I like things that look good all over the whole game, and we'll also have the fast renders too. Okay, this is animations. In-game, I'll show you animation too. Okay, let me go through the animations here. I got a lot of animations too that weren't part of the slideshow. Okay, cool. Here we go, the first video, of course, the frog mouth. Oh yeah, she's got her place going. She said hi. You like this?
I like frog's legs.
They can totally hire her.
Here's our first pass at a kilt. You'll see when she starts walking, her leg pops through there. There's a hard ridge on the kilt there. You know, we're making a good-looking game. We can't have that happen in our game.
No.
So that was our first pass trying to figure those things out. That was before we got the legs to chop out. And then here's Barbarian working the way that our last test, we've iterated since then, but this is working, the legs aren't clipping, he's running along, he's gonna go through some animations there, you'll see it all working really good. And that's a whole new outfit that Jeff did too.
We don't have to worry about it if he jumps, right?
What's that?
So we don't have to worry about him jumping, right?
Do they fly up like the cloaks?
Tom's not here, he's unfortunately couldn't make it, so I gotta do some of the sound effects. You know, everybody likes Tom's sound effects, so I'll be adding those in. Little squat, see I think we got swimming in here. Oh, there it goes swimming. Yeah, we gotta give him some flippers. Here's all the characters animated. That was the animation Tom did. We got it working on everybody. Oh yeah, Barbarian's rocking out. And then we go to some other characters. This is our retargeting system. The new Komodo we just had coming out. This was using layers.
Don't get me started again. I swear. I left for 45 years.
Here's retargeting on the mount. You see he's holding on to the rail. There's no horn there to stay on the mount. And then we'll pop it over to, there she's coming. There, a little dwarf. She's using the same animation and she's still holding on to that horn. It's adding that extra level of details that we want in our game. So we're keeping up current gen, looking good. We still have a really good looking game. Barbarian. Another thing we did, we upped our Maya software, we use Maya 2011 for a lot of our animations, which is allowing us to add layers and things. So like, see this guy, he's like the happy Komodo, he's like, ah. But then this is a guy with the same animation, but we just changed a layer on his head. So now he's more evil. He doesn't have the hanging out tongue dog effect. So it saves a lot of time. We can add different personalities to our characters without having to do a whole new animation set.